One thing that's come up on a recurring basis inside my Modern Maker community has been the topic of sales objections. And a lot of people that are new to my world come in and all they talk about is, the amount of sales calls that they do, how many objections they get in the sales calls. We hear everything from it's too expensive, I've got to ask my partner, I need some time to think about it. And all of this stuff is fine, right? But the conventional model will say sort of like start value stacking features and benefits and things like that, which work, right? Like the more value you put inside the program, the bigger the perceived value becomes to the person on the other end. Now, my sort of model that's a little bit inbound driven and stuff takes marketing at the forefront and doesn't use sales, let's say, because marketing does the pre-selling for you. And where a lot of people go wrong is they don't do pre-selling at all when it comes to their content strategy. And somebody like myself who enjoys writing and has built an audience of 40,000 people on LinkedIn prefers to get inbound leads, right? Like there's always a special touch when somebody's coming in ready to pay in full and ready to buy just because they've been following you now. That does take long in terms of a procedure, but if that resonates with you, you've got to look at that art of pre-selling something, right? Like you wouldn't go on a date and put a ring on it at first sight, right? Like you would get to know the person, ask a bunch of questions to make sure that, whatever it is that you're doing is building rapport and that the meaning resonates, so you start to date somebody before actually trying to put a ring on it. And that's very similar in the art of pre-selling. So when we're pre-selling, we want to consider the present pain that somebody is in, right? And it's not like going down the marketing route of finding a problem and then going, hey, do you have this problem? Well, do you want this solution? That's just going to get you a straight up no. That's like pitch slapping, right? But when we're looking at pre-sales, we're looking at what is that present pain that we dig out from the user or our consumer or our prospect or lead that will make them resonate with your messaging. So for example, maybe somebody's trying to get leads and they've tried everything. Now, what does everything mean? Everything is generic. Have they tried sales calls? Have they tried outbound? Have they tried paid advertisement? Have they tried organic? Like, find that thing that actually resonated with something they've already done that is now a liability. And we want to turn it into an asset in the sense that once we're pre-selling, we're targeting, all the time it took them to actually take that action so then they feel for you, right? All the energy that they've put in, which will also be heartfelt. The identity piece, so how do they feel about that process? The money piece, like have they invested a lot of money or lost a lot of money because of that effort? The reputation piece as well is something to be looked at. Like, what do other people think of them because they're not succeeding? Now, when we look at pre-sales, we're going then, what is the cost of not hiring me because I have this new idea compared to all these efforts and all the energy and all the money and all that the time that you've put in that hasn't worked versus the thing that I have that is just a different path to the same destination. So you're targeting all of these present pains, then you're looking at the price in terms of what is the cost of not hiring you because of that liability, right? And then once they do the math in their head, it starts to go from a no, let me think about it, to, maybe I'm nodding here and I'm understanding and maybe I'll give that a yes. So when we're doing pre-selling, there's a research piece that we have to go into to actually figure out what that pain is that our consumer or our prospect is facing. Simply show them that present pain. Then we want to basically give them the desired outcome and form our offer or the plan inside the offer as the bridge between that present pain and that desire that they have. And now all of a sudden, by visualizing that, they're able to go, oh, this person is my guy or gal, right? And the best way to sort of go about it is by looking at the fact that you can point at that thing. Like your index finger is basically your best tool. Like, am I creating images? Can they totally see what I'm doing? And are they able to point at that so it's ultimately clear? And if that all comes together, then you pretty much need like kindergarten English in order to sway somebody from I'm going to think about it to yes, I'm in, send me an invoice. So think of your pre-sales the next time you actually write your content, because that could be one of the most powerful tricks for you to use in your strategy to get inbound dream clients. And if you like this kind of content, hit subscribe, because I'll be coming up with a lot of these sort of practical and thought-provoking videos in the future. I hope you enjoyed that today.